But I don't think so. The timeline is getting pushed. I think it's same.
It's it's not the same. It's not the same.
Our previous episode of Building an Indian D2C Brand took us deep into the world of Amalta's Couture. Through our discovery session with founders Shruti and Santosh, we mapped out their vision, analyzed their market position, and developed detailed user personas. The team distilled these insights into a compelling brand position. Desi, but make it chic. We are SimplePlan Media, a branding and web design consultancy based right here in New Delhi, India. In this episode, we'll see how this foundation shapes the visual identity of the brand and helps us in creating art directions. Yogesh and Rahul face a crucial challenge, translating the insights from the discovery session into a clear creative direction. Want to know how we do it? Hit subscribe and follow along.
Imagine you are building a house. So you go to an architect, you tell them what style of house do you want to have, how many rooms will it have, and what would be the size of the rooms. And similarly, then you go to an interior designer, you tell them what kind of decor you want, what would be the wall colors, and so on and so forth, so that you end up living in a house that you actually like. Similarly, a creative brief is a meeting with the designers where we explain to them the brand strategy and positioning, explain them the attributes of the brand that we want to highlight, and give them a clear set of parameters that can help them design a beautiful brand.
So strategy is done. I hope you guys have reviewed the strategy. So let's just discuss the most important aspects that I can think about the brand, and maybe you can share yours too. I think one word that was coming up consistently was handmade and handwoven. So that should be an important aspect of the brand according to me.
I think they were focusing on embroidered quite a lot.
Yeah, so something that resonates with that embroidery, handmade wala part, that should be one keyword. Accessibility would be another important word according to me.
Exclusivity?
Not exclusive, because exclusive is not accessible. Positioning के हिसाब से it should be bold. But that's another keyword that we have.
Taking the charge on the visual front is a design team, Himanshu and Ananya, led by Gurbani. With multiple creative minds at work, the process brings diversity in thought and a variety of artistic interpretations. The creative brief defines the way our designers would be moving forward with their independent art boards.
I've gotten a brief now from Rahul and Yogesh about what the client is envisioning for this brand in terms of how it will end up looking. So now how we usually go about the art direction is we explore visual ideas on a spectrum, and we kind of explore all ends of the spectrum. So we try to keep a slightly straightforward, minimal angle in one direction. We try to be slightly experimental, maybe throw in some colors, maybe some fonts, stuff like that, to kind of solve for the middle part of the spectrum. And then we have one angle that is usually more experimental. It's out there, it's out of the box. So that's the idea that we're going to solve for. So the first idea that I'm thinking of is, I would call the base level idea of the spectrum, where it is rooted more in tradition. We kind of look at ethnic wear as ethnic wear. We associate everything that one does with ethnic wear in terms of traditional jewelry, the settings, the colors. So that will be more traditional, more sort of grounded in, you know, what we actually perceive ethnic wear as already. The second one is slightly more sort of colorful, where we're thinking of doing things like playing with pinks and greens, colors that you usually associate with traditional wear as well, but adding a slight modern touch to it, right? We're based in Delhi. We're going to try and maximize on that opportunity, maybe, you know, take shots in places that kind of reflect that idea, that culture that Delhi has to offer. The third one, however, I'm thinking of doing something completely out of the box, and this is the one that I'm leaning towards the most. It's going to be a very rebellious take on ethnic wear. So this will be a lot more personal. This will kind of tap into the emotional side of a girl, so to say, who our target audience is going to be, and how she can take ethnic wear that is widely available, but how she can make it her own. She can kind of tap into that rebellious side of hers. She can do it according to however she wants it to be, kind of bend the rules, make it her own. So my favorite idea out of these three is obviously the most experimental one, the rebellious idea. Why? One, I don't think a lot of brands are currently doing that. Two, it'll give us room to play with colors that one doesn't necessarily associate with ethnic wear as of now. Considering it's more emotion driven, it'll tap into that sort of emotional side of the women who are looking to do something different and they're bored of what's already in the market.
The design team then explores multiple perspectives for the art direction, translating the creative brief into 3 distinct visual approaches.
So art direction is a creative direction that we present to our clients. The purpose of an art direction is to present different visual look and feels that any specific brand can take. So we try to present different creative options for the clients to visualize how the end result might look. So an art direction is not an actual design work, it's like a collation of references. Think of it as mood boards on a lot of steroids.
Each concept defines key elements like imagery, typography, color palette, and graphical styles, shaping the brand's identity across platforms. These first drafts take shape under Gurbani's guidance, evolving through initial revisions before reaching Yogesh and Rahul for a feedback round. Now, it's up to them to select the art direction that best aligns with the brand strategy and the client's vision.
It's been a very long week, and I think we are finally done with the art directions that could be presented. And after multiple rounds of our discussion and Gurbani's take and the team's take, I think we have landed at a place where I feel sort of confident. I'm satisfied that we are presenting 3 unique directions. So even if none of them are selected, we will at least know what the client is thinking and what sort of direction do we head into.
I think it's the most important aspect at this point of time, because we want to move forward quickly. So getting their feedback on what they are thinking, what kind of visual directions they are leaning towards would be very helpful in speeding up the project.
Yeah, I think so. So fingers crossed, but let's talk about the art directions. The first one is my personal favorite. I think this art direction encapsulates traditional heritage with a sort of like a modern feel to it. But again, like each art direction, it also has its pros and its cons. I think the biggest pro is that we are in Delhi. In Delhi, there are so many monuments and it has a very rich cultural impact throughout Delhi. I think it works in our favor because the brand will look like a Delhi first brand. So that's a big pro for me at least. I also think that the serif fonts, when paired with a traditional sort of like a heritage look, it does give a modern appeal to what we're trying to inculcate. But on the other hand, this sort of an approach is heavily used by a lot of Indian brands and especially ethnic wear brands.
The only apprehension that I also have is that this looks like every other brand.
Yeah.
The kind of color tones, imagery that we want to go towards, it's very common nowadays. So hard to stand out.
Since the look and feel will be very minimal, very traditional and very elite, if the copy stands out, I think that would be a unique angle in itself. And another problem that I see with this direction, which is difficult to scale in future, would be that I think taking permissions from ASI in Delhi would be a challenge because you can't just simply pick up your camera and shoot at these different monuments. So that will also be a ongoing challenge that we'll face. But let's see. If they approve, then we'll think about these things. I would say I don't love this one for sure. I'm not a big fan.
Couple of good elements that I can see, like the play with the lotus sort of a motif that we are using, these kind of patterns that we've created. But the overall expression of the brand seems a bit more on the negative end, like it doesn't communicate happiness or excitement, which I think isn't right for this sort of a brand.
The pros of this direction is there is a very rich blend of different cultures infused into a sort of like a rebel outlook, which our brand is definitely about. Very vibrant colors of pinks and greens, and the imagery is very loud. It's almost like it's on your face. So these are the things that kind of can work in the favor. But again, some of these things can also become negative, that it can look a little religious, leaning towards one religion more than the other. Creating a brand that looks a little religious, it's certainly not a direction I would take. So that's my only apprehension.
Perhaps with a better imagery,
Yeah.
this can be elevated. Yeah, but certainly not a big fan right now.
I would let you talk about this one because this one is your favorite.
Yes, I like this one the most because as per our brand positioning, I think this is the one that nails the briefs down, because it is bold, disruptive, and these were some of the terms that we talked about in our last session with the client. So all those are encapsulated very beautifully in this. So the use of dark red hues, overlapping images combined with traditional photography, the kind of motifs that we are using again bring in that cultural element back, and with the copy and the typography we can again reinforce the bold and disruptive angle that we want to go towards.
I quite like the little queen that they have used. Like these kind of illustrations can definitely go with the brand. I'm not 100% sold on a pomegranate on a woman like cutting out the images, so I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I just feel the cons of this direction is it's a little too bold. It's a little too chaotic, and that's the only apprehension. It's too dark. Like I would love to create a brand like this, but I don't think our clothes would be like this.
This is too out there.
Yeah.
No one is doing this. So again, there is always risk attached to doing things that no one else is doing. But again, then it also gives you a chance to stand out. Its pros and cons are both the same, essentially. So let's see which one the client likes,
Yeah.
and then we can move forward.
To present their final art directions, Yogesh and Rahul head to the client's warehouse for a hands-on discussion. Here, they'll walk the client through the concepts, gathering real-time feedback on what resonates and what needs refinement.
The initial rounds of the art direction are always a bit tricky, and we need to be prepared for everything and anything, even rejection.
Yeah, earthy tones because everybody is using. I don't want to use earthy tones. I don't want heritage. No.
What color would you want? White is one, black is one. Okay.
वो देंगे।
अच्छा पेस्टल्स ही हो पाएगा, उसके अलावा तो और क्या? ग्रीन्स में
पेस्टल्स कर लो।
ग्रीन्स में फिर हिल सकते हैं।
कर लो पेस्टल्स। प्लीज पेस्टल्स कर लो। हमारी majority collection, I'm telling you, 99% collection, it's going to be not pastels. It's going to be for some summer season.
So इसमें
थोड़ा dark है। ये पूरा theme dark है. This theme is not light for sure. I love the craziness, but I do not like dark theme.
You're okay with the yellow oranges?
Yellows are good, orange. हाँ, yellow का पूरा palette is okay.
So should we use the following words to create an art direction? Vibrant, summery, playful.
Summery, yes, definitely.
Playful.
Playful, yes. Vibrant सिर्फ वही वाले जो थोड़े cool हैं.
ठीक है.
कूल है, ब्रीदेबल है, सिर्फ वो वाले वाइब्रेंट चलेंगे. So it was a great meeting, lovely seeing all the art directions, and then initially we were thinking of going really bold, but I think we need to take a step back, and now it seems a little too bold for us. So we are thinking something that's more vibrant and more summery. So looking forward to a new art direction, something that aligns with our revised thoughts.
The major thing that I can think of at this point is the timeline. We will be way behind schedule.
But I don't think so. The timeline is getting pushed. I think it's same.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
When the clients envision something and then when they see it in real life with the real life implication, sometimes the thoughts they can change. So yes, the initial brief we were planning to build something that was bold. Turned out it was a little too bold for them. In actuality, what they want is they want the direction to be a little more vibrant and a little more playful than being bold in the truest sense. We'll add some softer hues, some softer elements, some vibrant colors, so the brand overall looks a little summery. We won't scrap everything that we have done so far. So what we'll do is we'll take the things back to the drawing board. We'll take it to the team, Gurbani and her team. We'll discuss it with them. We'll brief this and we'll brainstorm together on how we can make a sort of like a bold looking brand into a playful looking brand without doing everything from scratch, because again we are running very behind the deadline and this is not what we anticipated when we took this project on. So yeah.
In the next episode, Yogesh and Rahul will lock in the final art direction. From there, we take it to the client, kicking off dynamic exchange of feedback and revisions, ultimately moving to the logo design process. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. This is Building an Indian D2C Brand.